Hi, Erica.
Hi, Elise.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm cold, actually. I live in Texas, and it is.
Okay, then no, you don't. It's snowing here in Chicago, so.
No, every time I say that, people are like, "You're out of your mind."
Uh-uh.
But it's actually 20 something degrees today in
Oh,
Texas, and so
okay, okay,
I
that's
am
fair.
I am out of my element, if you will, because it is.
Okay, I'll let you say you're cold then.
Let me slide on that one. Okay, for everybody watching, I'm very excited. This is actually my first time meeting Erica, so she is not my client. She's actually a client of our founder and CEO, Callie. And Erica has been a client with Blush for 5 years, which is just so amazing. So I am so thrilled to be able to ask you a couple of questions and get the inside scoop on your experience with Blush. So if you're ready, I'm just going to dive right in.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, so tell me, what do you like most about Blush?
So, what I like most about Blush is kind of the convenience and the holistic approach that it offers, because I can talk to and see Callie easily, obviously, especially in this time of COVID from my couch. But also the fact I have the package where I can chat, text, through the Blush app anytime I want. So, therapy is wonderful, but you get access when you have that scheduled appointment, right? And then when I can, because they're poor Callie, there have been so many moments where I'm like, now, I need help now. And she's almost instantaneously there. She's just an incredible, obviously, life coach, but friend to me now, 5 years later. She has seen me through an extraordinary amount of stuff, growth, hurt, joy, all of it. So I love the fact that I have access to her pretty much, and I don't abuse it. I know not to, but often. So that's what I've loved most about Blush.
Yeah, I think the convenience feature is huge because we have the app. So, like, if you're, you know, not next to your computer and you don't have a session scheduled till the end of the week, you can literally, that's what's great about the chat and video combo
Yeah,
do, is that you can like be right there and have that immediate access, which I just
yeah,
think is, obviously not going to be your same experience in a therapeutic setting at
right,
all. So
right.
I love that you mentioned that. So you kind of touched on this with Callie, and kind of you mentioned that you consider her a friend, and I'm sure after 5 years, you guys have been through it all, just all of the life things. So how
Yes.
would you describe your relationship with Callie?
It's funny because I was just chatting with her today a little bit about this upcoming session with you, and she is my place for tough love. And I am a person who will kind of run away from feedback, but over these 5 years, she has proven to me that she knows me so well, and when I speak, she gives it back to me, and she's like, well, this is what you just said. And I'm like, that's not what I meant. And she's just like, okay. And I sometimes will go dark on her, but she's always there no matter what, and there's no way I can disappoint her. And she knows me better than anybody, and my whole family knows Callie, not personally, but they know I have a Callie, and that she's the one who shoots straight with the toughest love, but emphasis on love.
Mhm.
Like she only does it because she sees me and she knows my bullshit and she knows what I'm capable of. So
And
we have a very good relationship.
that's where all the work comes in, right? When you're
Yeah.
not afraid to be like, this is what's happening, this is what's going on, I know what you want to do in this situation,
Yeah.
you got to go this other direction. So I think,
Right.
after 5 years, I'm sure you guys have just like the safest and most secure relationship, so that when that's built and the rapport is there, you have that
Yeah.
flexibility to be able to challenge our clients and give them tough love and really challenge them where they need to be challenged. So I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah. And she knows my patterns, and we've been together long enough that she can be like, you know what's happening. I don't even have to tell you. And I'm like, yeah, I know, whatever. I even tried to fire her once. Like, I was like, I just don't think this is working. And she's like, okay, whatever. No, you're not firing me. I was like, okay.
That's so great. I love that. I mean, you guys have a really special relationship.
We do. We do. She's wonderful.
She is wonderful. I love Callie so much. She's basically my life coach too. I'm like, help Callie fix all of my problems. And then
yeah. When this dumb COVID thing is over, I've been meaning to go to LA and meet her forever, but someday we're going to have a martini.
I say all the time, we need to just have a huge blush vacay where all the coaches and all the clients can go to just like recuperate from the last year and a half, because it's been a lot.
But the first thing we have to do is set boundaries, because I would hate for you guys to be like, okay, hi clients.
I know, totally. I love that though. Okay, so tell me just a little snippet of what benefits you've gotten out of the process so far.
So I've touched on it. I mean, the tough love has really grown and stretched and pushed me. Callie has, I would never say that Callie's changed me, but I think Callie has really helped me understand what I'm capable of. Like I said before, she has, I came to her in a very troubled time in my life and subsequently ended up going through a divorce. And, she never told me what to do. That's never what Callie does, but she kind of hands back to me what I've already told her. She's a mirror for me when I have blind spots, basically, if that makes sense. So what my benefits have just been, how Glennon Doyle says we can do hard things. Callie's like, you can do hard things. You are capable of this. So my confidence in myself and who I am and what I'm able to do has been a huge benefit. I'm a mother. I've got 2 girls. They're 11 and 13. And I think that, that has translated into a stronger relationship with my girls as they develop into young women. And, it's kind of hard to quantify the benefits I've felt from this tough love and realization of what I'm capable of, and also realizations of where, my patterns are that I'm not really in love with are, so the benefits have been huge. And, I went to her in kind of a time of crisis, but I stay with her because it's like maintenance medicine, I went when I was really, really sick. I got better. She figured out how to help. And now I'm on like the maintenance meds.
I
mean, there are times that are really, really hard, but mostly I show up and I'm like, I don't really have anything to talk about. She's like, sure. But, we like blow through a half hour like that. Like the last time we talked, she's like, do you want me to just add another session on? And we ended up talking for an hour because there's always something.
Always something. And I think having that like home base, that just like place that you can always come back to from someone who knows you to the depths and just already can, you don't even have to explain. They just like get you. And I think that that's kind of what I'm gathering from you and Callie's relationship, which is just like everybody deserves to have someone like that in their life to just support you and encourage you and validate you and reflect how you're feeling and what you're thinking and just be on the same page. I think that's so important.
Yeah. And we started doing this virtual thing, obviously, well before the entire world had to go virtual. But I will say, for anybody who's like, isn't in person better? Can't they get my energy better? It has never been an issue for Callie and me. I would love to meet her in person, obviously, but it has never hindered our ability to, like you said, build that home base for her to get to know me. And in part, it's like I'm usually in a comfortable setting anyway, so my guard is a little further down. So, I mean, not that anyone's probably afraid of virtual at this point a year in anyway, but if anyone ever has questions, like, it has not been an issue.
Yeah, no one's ever brought that up on one of these testimonials, which I'm really glad that you did, because that is for people like potentially thinking that they want to try out the process. I think that people are like, oh, I feel like you can probably get so much more out of the process in person, but I have never had an issue establishing a relationship. Some of my clients are like my best friends, we know them so well, and being virtual is not a hurdle in the relationship building process at all. So just anybody who's watching that or maybe considering Blush out, which then brings me to my last question is, who do you think is a good candidate for Blush?
I think a good candidate for Blush at this point would be anybody who's really looking to kind of take the next step, right? They're already curious about maybe self-actualization, or they're just like, they know that they've got some work to do. So the person who's looking for a really sincere connection and really authentic, honest coaches, people, um, formally trained therapists, as it were, too. I think it's for those people who are ready to start doing the work and get a pretty swift nudge to the next level. And I came to Blush when I was in my mid 30s. I am 41 now, and I know I've teased Callie about this since the beginning. I'm like, I'm not your target audience, right? Like, she started kind of targeting women in their 20s, but what I would say is that anybody who is, again, seeking to take that next step in growth and pushing themselves and recognizing patterns at any life stage. I mean, I went through some big things. I went through a divorce. I've gone, through a lot of hardship, heavy duty stuff that maybe a 20-something isn't going through, but it's still there. What you provide as a service, and the way you provide it is, I think, accessible and, really important for anybody, again, who wants to start to really push themselves to that next level.
I love that. I think that that's, exactly what a lot of people that come to the process are looking for. They're just they're at a crossroads, they're feeling stuck, they're feeling lost, and they just need like support and encouragement and, empowerment, and know that they can do it, and really a good game plan, right? Like, that's what's cool about Blush too, is when there's a problem, there's a solution, and we're like, okay, let's figure it out. What do we want to do? What do we need to do? Let's do it. I'm your accountability coach. Did you do it? Why didn't you do it?
Exactly. The accountability piece is huge, because I do actually have a formal therapist too. So I do both. I do Callie, and Callie's like, you should do formal therapy too. And it's different, and it's not, neither is, better or worse, but the accountability piece of what Blush has brought into my life, that has really been, and that's what my family has noticed too. They're like, oh, you talked to Callie. She's got your feet to the fire. I'm like, yeah, she does.
Oh, well, I love that. Thank you so much for sharing your experience with Blush. You are like an original Blush client, and we're so appreciative to have you be part of the family.
Yeah, I'm glad too. I've been telling Callie since the beginning that I am a Blush evangelist. I will give any testimonial. I will talk to anybody who has questions, because it's been an incredible, and will continue to be an incredible experience for me.
Well, I appreciate you so much and your time. Thank you so much, Erica.
Thank you, Elise.
All right.
Bye. All right. Bye.